Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to extrude the basic feature and create some fillets for our feature to give this a little bit softer edge. Okay? In this sketch, we have, if I reopen it, we can see that we've dimensioned everything. Everything's black. We have the little hat or rectangle at the top of our piece, or the top of our trapezoid. If you haven't clicked your green check mark yet, please make sure that you click your green check mark to save this. Again, a history is created right here where we can see all the versions and all the changes that have been made. So if we ever need to go back or restore, copy, recreate, we can do this very easily. From here, what we're going to do is we're going to extrude this feature. Because we trimmed out between the rectangle and the trapezoid, this is one object. All of these construction lines, these holes, it's like a giant jello mold. If I pour jello in here, it's going to fill that entire space. Okay? Nothing's leaking out because all of these corners, all these points are snapped together. They're connected no matter how far in or out we zoom, they're stuck together. So our jello isn't going to leak out. I either want to select the sketch in the tree or select inside the sketch on our graphic area. You can see that the whole perimeter turns orange, and we can see those edges are orange so that it's selected. If I select it inside or if I select on the tree, that sketch is going to turn orange. What we need to do now is we need to extrude. Up on our ribbon, because we're out of the sketch tool, we move to the left one, shortcut key Shift E. I can hover over and see the specific instructions. It looks like two squares or two boxes next to each other. I'm going to click on this once. It's going to open up our extrude window. It should be right where you left your sketch window or sketch tab. What we're going to do here is we're going to do a blind extrude. For our depth, we don't want this to be 1 inch. We want this to be the same thickness as our plywood. We're using 3/4. We may have to come back later and change this if our material has a different thickness. Not all materials created equally. Some has higher quality, some doesn't. Cost is pretty consistent with the quality, higher cost. What we're going to do is we're going to set this distance to 0.75 or 3/4 of an inch. Once we have that distance set, I can hit enter. It's going to give us a preview. If I set this to a corner, come over to my view orientation cube, click on the top right corner. You could also go to camera render options and select trimetric to get the same view. From here I can see that this became 3-dimensional. I could change this to symmetrical so that it's growing equally in both directions, but blind should work fine for this project. I'm going to click my green check mark, and now I've created that first 3-dimensional shape. In our next video, in this video, I'm also going to show you how to fillet some of these edges, so I'm going to turn this back to a front view. Actually, we'll leave it off at the front view in this 3D view. Up on our ribbon, I'm going to select fillet, this square with a rounded corner, shortcut key Shift F. I'm going to set this distance. If I come back to my model that I created earlier, I don't have that in there yet, but from my previous models, I know that we have a 2-inch radius. So I'm going to change this radius from 0 to 2. I'm going to select these corners, and these corners should then fillet to 2 inches. So you can see that it gives us a preview, and it gives that a nice curvature so that it's not such a harsh corner or edge. I'm going to do that to every corner on the trapezoid, not on this rectangle, just those trapezoid edges. This corner or edge we can't see right now, so we will need to turn this. We could go to the front and then just select the lower left corner. You could also select these other points, arrows, to make some curves or curvature as desired. I'm going to move back to my trimetric view, and I can see my preview of how this is going to kind of round off those shapes. Next, I'm going to select my green check mark to save, and now we have some rounded off corners.